Good evening and welcome to the Planning Commission meeting of February 17th, 2021. Due to the evolving situation with the COVID-19 novel coronavirus and health recommendations from the LA County Health Department, the Planning Commission meeting will be available to the public electronically. Due to social distancing requirements, the public will not be able to attend the meeting. The public is encouraged to watch and participate from the safety of their homes to practice social distancing. The meeting can be viewed on local cable, Charter Cable Channel 6, and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. You can also find the link to stream it online along with the meeting agenda at the city's website. For public comments and questions during the meeting, call 818-937-8100. City staff will be submitting these questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person during the Planning Commission meeting. Can we have roll call, please?
Kristen, you're muted.
I knew I was going to be the first one. Commissioner Fuentes?
Here.
Commissioner Lee?
Here.
Commissioner Manassian?
Here.
Commissioner Shabazian?
Here.
Chairperson Trachin?
Here. Next, we have reports regarding posting of the agenda. The agenda for the February 17th, 2020 regular meeting of the Glendale Planning Commission was posted on February 10th, 2021 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. Next, we have approval of minutes, approval of Planning Commission minutes from November 4th, 2020. Do we have a motion?
I motion it.
I'll second.
Has it been that long? November 4th? Last meeting that we had. Oh my God.
Do we need to have a vote? We could just move on. Okay.
We can just move on.
Next, we have oral communication. Discussions limited to items not a part of this agenda. I don't believe we have any oral communication at this time.
And there's nobody on the phone.
Next item on our agenda is the election of chairperson and chairperson pro tempore for the upcoming year. At this point in time, I'd like to, I guess, give the floor to the other commissioners, and then I'll be happy to give my opinion at the conclusion of their remarks, and then we can take a vote.
Chairperson, this is Tanin Shabazian. I think it would be appropriate to nominate our current chair pro tem for the position of chair. So I do nominate Commissioner Manassian. I'm not sure if there are any other nominations. I'll mute myself for someone else to announce if they do.
I'll second that.
Okay, Kristen, do we have to select the next pro tem as well then, or do we take a vote on the current chair?
I think we can take a vote on the current chair and then move to pro tem. I'm here. Commissioner Fuentes?
Yes.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Manassian?
Aye.
Commissioner Shabazian?
Yes.
And Chairperson Trachin?
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations. So at this point, the chair will move over to Chairperson Manassian, and we'll take names for pro tem, please.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking. It's too fast. I'd like to nominate Mr. Lee, Chairperson Lee.
I second that.
So for roll call, Commissioner Fuentes?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Abstain.
Commissioner Shabazian?
Yes.
Commissioner Trachin?
Yes.
And Chairperson Manassian.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations, Pro Tem Commissioner Lee.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Going along the agenda, next item is Commissioner comments.
Can I pass this for today's to Chairperson Trachian to handle this, because I don't have my the agenda in front of me, so it will be difficult for me to read.
I'm happy to do it, Kristen, if that's a possibility.
Yeah, thank you.
It is a possibility if everyone agrees.
Yes.
Agreement is not necessary. The gavel can be passed in order to.
Okay, so I guess we have boarding. Does anyone else have a boarding commission comment? Commissioner Fuentes?
Yes. Good evening, Chairperson Greg Jam and board members. I'm not sure if this is the right time to say it, but I would like to request that we adjourn or end our meeting tonight in honor of one of the Filipino American community's leader and a strong pillar. We lost her January 31st, Ruby Rivera. She is well known in the community, a very active leader, like I said, in the Filipino American community. And so my request is if we can adjourn our meeting tonight in honor or in memory of Ruby Baxter Rivera. Thank you.
Do we have any other commissioner comments?
No, but I was wondering if we need to agree on that. Commissioner Fuentes, your voice was kind of going in and out, and I think you dedicated, you wanted to dedicate this meeting to a Filipino heritage person, if I understood it correctly.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Correct, yeah.
Do we need to agree on this, Kristen, or I mean, I'm happy to dedicate the meeting to that. Thank you, Commissioner Fuentes, for your remarks. And next we'll move to old business. I don't believe we have any at this point in time, so that would bring us to new business, item 1735-1737-1379 Holly Drive. Do we have a presentation?
Yes, Eileen Babakani is here and she has a PowerPoint that will go over this first agenda item.
Thank you, Christine. Try to share my PowerPoint and start my presentation. Are you able to see the page?
Not yet.
No?
Mm-mm.
What about? Should be there.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, the project addressed as 1735, 1737, and 1739 Holly Drive is a proposal to subdivide a 7-unit multifamily residential building into a new condominium with tentative track map number H2944. The subject lot is 17,150 square feet interior lot on the north side of Holly Drive with frontage on approximately 80 feet and a depth of approximately 230 feet. The project consists of 13,937 square foot, 3 separate 2-story multifamily residential buildings. and includes 7 townhouse-style units with 1 level of semi-subterranean parking garage with total of 18 parking spaces, including 2 guest parking spaces and 1 accessible parking space. The project site is located in the R2250, which is medium density residential zone. The site is surrounded by medium density residential zone, and the immediate street block is developed with 1 and 3-story multifamily buildings. The project is compatible with the surrounding buildings, given that the surrounding area is zoned for multifamily residential uses. The project received design review board approval on July 25th, 2019, and building permit request was submitted in November of 2019. And the project is currently under plan check review for the building permit issuance. The project includes common outdoor space areas in the middle and toward the rear of the project site, and also includes private outdoor spaces for each unit. The residential component consists of 3 2-bedroom units and 4 3-bedroom units. The density of the development at 7 units is the maximum permitted density in this zone. The project is also consistent with the city's intent of promoting infill residential development in the medium density residential zone with a medium density land use designation. The subject development conforms to the city's goal and is consistent with the general plan elements as outlined in the tables in the staff report, including land use element, circulation element, noise element, housing, safety, recreation, historic preservation, community facilities, and open space and conservation element. Staff recommends that Planning Commission approve Tentative Track Map number H2944 with 75 conditions stated in the draft motion attached to the staff report. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any question.
I have a question. Please go ahead, Commissioner.
No, I said no questions.
I have a question. I just want to be clear. This is a strictly a residential project. There's no commercial component to it. This is not a mixed-use project.
No, this is not a mixed-use project, Commissioner. This is a 7-unit residential project.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Commissioner.
Okay, sorry, I froze for a moment. I was just curious because of the location of it being right close to the hospital. I thought that I just wanted to understand it correctly. And I'm just curious to know, and I'm not sure if you can answer my question. For projects that come to the city, do we try to do any kind of transportation demand management efforts for any residential projects that come to the city? I'm just curious to know, and you might not have the answer to that, but if you do, I would be happy to hear about it.
I'll take a stab at answering.
Okay, go ahead.
Commissioner Shabazian, for residential projects, not so much. There is a section in our zoning code for TDM measures, but they generally surround around downtown and some of the office buildings.
Okay, maybe can you just, maybe we can talk about it later. I was just curious to know what would trigger it here in the city for TDM to be prepared.
I can get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Do any other commissioners have questions or comments? Okay. Does anyone want to move?
Yeah, I move to approve.
I second it.
Okay, so for this evening, Commissioner Fuentes,
Yes.
Commissioner Shabazian,
Yes.
Commissioner Manassian,
Yes.
Commissioner Lee,
Yes.
and Chairperson this evening, Tarachian.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
just a reminder for some mute, we're getting some feedback.
So do we need to read the actual motion for this, or do we just move to the next item? My apologies.
If there's anything different than than what the motion read in the packet, but if not, I think your motion in second is fine.
Okay, so next item on the agenda is 610 West Broadway, PTTM CP2005724 Tentative Track Map, New Condominium Commercial. And I believe we have a presentation.
Yes, you do. Let me just give me a second and I'll try to share the screen.
Before the next item presentation, we had the applicant of the item in the agenda for Holly Drive, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
If Roger, could you stop sharing your screen for a second?
Yeah. Yep.
We did. I mean, there was a motion and a vote for approval. I don't know if anybody wants to hear.
That's why I wanted to remind him that he can leave probably if he doesn't live.
So everything's okay?
That item was approved.
Good, very good. Thank you very much, Ola. I'm so sorry. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we can move on to the second item, and Roger Kiesel was about to share his screen.
Can everybody see?
Yes, if you put it in slideshow, I think it'll be a little bit bigger.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're
Let
welcome.
me see. No, I'm
Right
not
there.
finding a slideshow.
You are, it says animations, and then slideshow is right next to it. There you go.
Oh, it's blocked. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Is that better?
Then hit from beginning. There we go.
Thank you. All right, good evening, members of the Planning Commission. Ike Martirosian of Technical Land Company is proposing to subdivide and approve development into 28 commercial units for condominium purposes. The proposed project is located on the south side of West Broadway between Kenilworth and Concord in the SFMU zone. I don't know if you can see my sort of arrow. The site is here. The project site is 14,000 square feet in area. The Glendale Redevelopment Agency certified and approved the mitigated negative declaration and approved the project with conditions on September 29th, 2009. Along with approval of the project, the redevelopment agency approved a variance to allow a portion of the required landscaping to be contained within the third level courtyard. And that was discussed a little bit more in the staff report. On the screen now is the tentative track map. The project is actually currently under construction. The ground floor, and I'll switch to the next slide. Maybe. project is currently under construction. The ground floor would contain a building lobby. Actually, let me scoot back. I think far ahead. The mouse is not real receptive. Okay, so this is the ground floor. Now the ground floor will contain the building lobby, which is shown in kind of a light blue here. Ingress and egress is here. Some on-site parking and spaces is here. And then there are two retail units in purple, here and here. Sorry. This is the first level of subterranean parking, so this is below grade. This level just contains parking spaces. And then this is the half level of subterranean parking below that. This is the second level of the building under construction. It will contain commercial offices, and those are in yellow here, here and here, as well as parking. The third and fourth levels contain both medical and general office spaces. The yellow delineates the general office space. The medical in green is the medical offices are in green. You'll notice the third floor plan includes a courtyard in the center. Fourth floor is very similar. The courtyard is open to the sky. The subdivision proposes to subdivide the retail and office spaces into 28 commercial condominium units, ranging in size from 650 to 940 square feet. The site is physically suitable for the proposed development, which is surrounded by various types of commercial development, along with residential uses to the south. It conforms to the city's goals for the development of the neighborhood and development standards in the SFMU zone, as detailed in the chart contained in the staff report. It is consistent with the elements of the general plan, also as detailed in the chart contained in the staff report. The residential office building is consistent with the commercial services designation land use element. The 80-foot right-of-way along West Broadway is consistent with the circulation element. The building is being constructed consistent with the noise element. The site contains no hazards as identified in the safety element. The site was not identified for recreation or park purposes or as open space, consistent with the recreation element and open space and conservation elements. Utilities in the area can adequately serve the building under construction. Staff is recommending approval of the tentative track map number 83052 with conditions as detailed in the motion. That concludes my presentation, but let me see if I can go back real quickly and let you have a look at the elevations if you'd like. That's a building rendering of the front. This is the north elevation of the building. This is what the building will look like facing Broadway. One of the side elevations. This is the rear elevation, south elevation. And then the east elevation, also a side elevation. And then I've got some pictures concluding my PowerPoint, just so that you can see where the development is at now. This is a photo of the development facing south. So the Broadway is the street that you see here. Another view facing south, the adjacent building is here. Another facing south. This is looking west toward the freeway, really, and the building is right here. And then looking east, and this is the building here. Okay, so that concludes my presentation. I know Hike Martirosian is in the virtual audience, and so if you have any questions of him, he's available. Otherwise, I can conclude my presentation.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
I'm just curious to know what was in that lot before this project was proposed.
Oh gosh, it's been a long time. I believe there were two buildings, both obviously demolished. I can't remember the uses.
You know, this is a mechanic shop, I remember.
Thank you. It's a nice use of that nice design. Just wanted to put that out there.
Commissioner Shabazian, may I ask, you're showing up mute on my screen, and I'm not sure you're being picked up on TV. I sent you a request to unmute. Do you see that?
Did that work?
Say one more time.
Is it working?
I can hear you, but I'm not sure if the TV folks.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Okay, I did accept your. For some reason, my mute button is actually not working. Hold on one second. Yeah, I can't mute myself anymore, but I'll be very quiet so I don't distract anyone.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Kristen, I think it's because Commissioner Fuentes has two, one mic and one video. And that's why there's feedback going on.
Okay. Commissioner Fuentes, I'm going to expel just the mic one. I'm going to leave the video and we will try this again. And we will give that a second to work. I'm going to, Commissioner Fuentes, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself if you can and try to ask again.
How's that?
Much better.
Roger, can you go back to the ground floor plan? I just wanted to take a look at the ground floor plan.
Sure. Uh-oh.
We could see your screen, Roger.
Can you see it now?
Not now, but we could a second ago.
Okay. Okay, that's odd because I couldn't tell what page I was on because I saw your faces.
Oh, so it looks like it's on the last slide. the very end of the presentation. So maybe you have the ability to scroll.
I think I have the ability to scroll. And I'm not, where's my mouse?
Just try the back arrow on your keypad or on your keyboard.
Is that working?
No.
Okay, so let me try to figure this out, and then if anybody else has any other questions, or if Hike wants to make a presentation or whatever, I'll try to figure this out and get back.
I have a question.
Sure.
So the project is mixed use of the residential and commercial. That's how it's going to be, yes?
No, not residential. There are 2 commercial retail units on the ground floor, and then the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors are a mixture of medical office and general office.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I guess as you're trying to figure that out, I'm going to ask the question I asked previously about the TDM. This is kind of in downtown, and it's a commercial and office space. I'm curious if our TDM ordinances triggered anything here. I mean, it's good to know with traffic, air pollution, and all of that. I'm not familiar with Glendale's plans and how we're going forward. So just wanted, put it out there. If Christine, if there's anything.
Commissioner Shabazian, I do have a little update for you. Current TDM is based on the size of a project, but typically only applies to projects of 100 dwelling units or more. But we are looking into TDM as part of our circulation element update that's currently going on, and to figure out whether or not it can be based not on project, but if it exceeds VMT. So we are studying that.
Okay, is that because of the new CEQA changes that has come through? Is that what you guys are looking forward into, or is it just how you're planning to proceed with TDM? So is it going to be TDM as of the way you're going to enforce it, or is it going to be part of the CEQA?
It's being studied as part of the circulation update. And so, and whether or not with the new VMT rules and whether or not that's going to trigger CEQA, it will be looked at that point. And the Planning Commission will see all of the changes and recommendations to the circulation element as it comes forward.
Perfect. Thank you. I hope that
Can I try sharing my screen again?
To figure out the.
Well, we'll see. Kristen knows how gifted I am with technology, so give me a second.
By the way, Kristen, I still can't mute myself, so if you hear anything, let me know or mute me.
Will do, and I'm a little worried that you're not being picked up on TV, but everybody else seems to hear you, so I'm not sure what's going on. But now Roger has successfully given us a first floor plan, so back to him.
All right.
Okay.
So this is Broadway here. Whoops. This is Broadway here. The lobby is here. The access to the garage is here. Parking is here, and then there are 2 retail units here.
Yeah. Okay. I know in the report it said they meet the landscaping requirements and all that, right?
Correct.
Yes. I was just trying to look at that little green area. Is that all the landscaping or they're gonna have something Broadway?
Well, yeah, the green area is here, here, and here. Now, they received a variance from the redevelopment agency in 2009 to
12 years ago.
allow them to have landscaping here on the 3rd floor. And that, in combination, allows the project to comply with code. There's sufficient landscaping, it just wasn't all on the ground floor.
Yeah. Well, I'm just I'm not gonna do anything with this project, but I'm really looking forward to seeing more open space on the ground floor or landscape area on the ground floor. I think we have had a lot of missed opportunities. Like some of the new buildings we have had be more open to the public or have more a pedestrian friendly type of access to the building. And that's just where I'm coming from. Like I said, I'm not gonna do anything with the project. I know Mr. Martirosyan has been working in this project for a long time, but that's where I'm coming from. I really would like to see more open space landscaping on the pedestrian level instead of putting them all up on top of the building. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Anything else? All right, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Do we have any other commissioners that have any questions or comments on the project?
I just wanted to say that it's always good to see a redevelopment project, especially for a lot that hasn't been used. It's exciting to see, it being used in the best way possible. And if we are ready, I can make a motion for this project. If there are no more discussions. Yes.
I'll just remind if you want to open the public hearing and if anybody wants to hear from the applicant, just as a reminder, kind of gets lost in the screen.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions for the applicant? And I don't believe we have anyone calling in on this project aside from the applicant, correct?
No one is calling in, and I just checked the phone lines and there's nobody on the line.
Okay, Commissioner Shabazian, I guess if you would like to move ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move.
And I'll second.
Commissioner Fuentes?
Yes.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Manassian?
Yes.
Commissioner Shabazian?
Yes.
Chairperson Trachian?
Yes. That concludes the second item on our agenda, bringing us to the third and final item, 6231 to 6325 San Fernando Road, 178V Alley Vacation. And I believe we have a presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the Planning Commission. I'm going to get set up here. So yes, as Mr. Chair had announced, this project is located at 6231 to 6325 San Fernando Road, and this is to include Alley 23, which I will go further into detail here. So once again, the alley is located southeasterly of Sonora Avenue and southwesterly San Fernando Road, and once again, it's known as Alley 23, and this is to include it into the project site, which is addressed on the screen. The Planning Commission review is to review the alley vacation's consistency with the city's general plan.
I'm very sorry. May I interrupt you for a moment?
Absolutely.
For some reason, I cannot see your presentation, and I don't know if that's on my side or if other commissioners are having the same issue.
I've been able to see it, Commissioner.
Okay, no worries. I do have all the handouts, so I'll look at the map as you're explaining.
Now pardon me, let me get back on tempo here. I'm having a little technological because I was trying to troubleshoot why.
Sorry about that.
No. I allow me to get back on board here. So
sure. It is telling me that I'm viewing your screen, but then it's just blank. So no worries. Thank you.
No worries, but everyone else can still see my screen. Is that correct?
I only see
Your
blue
screen. It's just a blue screen, so it's maybe starting your presentation again or stop sharing, reshare, your choice.
Okay, hold on one quick second here. I just got to figure out how to do this one. All is good now?
I can see your presentation, Dennis.
Okay, so this is just the cover. Once again, it's located at 6231 through 6325 San Fernando Road. And once again, the applicant's proposal is to vacate the alley southeasterly of Sonora Avenue and southwesterly of San Fernando Road, also known as Alley 23. And this is to include it at the stated address of the property. And once again, the Planning Commission's review tonight is just to review the alley vacations consistency with the general plan, which I will go into quick summary.
잠깐만요.
Dennis, I think you can keep going.
Okay, so I wasn't too sure. So once again, this is just to review the general plan's consistency with the applicant's request.
213. 네. 605. 605.
Project's generally located in Northwest Glendale and at the corner of Sonora and San Fernando Road.
Yeah.
Dennis, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. If you could just pause. I think Commissioner Lee, we're hearing some background noise. Okay, it seems to have stopped. Apologies, Dennis, if you want to continue.
No worries. So the slide before you is the location map. It's generally located in Northwest Glendale, and it's at the corner of Sonora and San Fernando Road. And highlighted in blue is the portion of the project site with the alley and vacation to be vacated. Next slide here is the vacation map. And in yellow is the alley. And it has an L shape. It's currently constructed with asphaltic concrete pavement. It's improved with GWP underground electrical conduit and telecommunication facility by AT&T. The applicant's currently working with both GWP and AT&T to allow an easement for each of these facilities. Just to quickly go over the project's background. About a year ago, the DRB approved a remodel and additions across 4 buildings to create a campus of general offices. So shaded in orange are the locations of the additions to each of the buildings. Each of the buildings did include a facade improvement, and also the parking lot, as you can see on the project site here, was reconfigured. The alley vacation will allow the site to be one contiguous site and allow the use to function as an office campus. And just to go over the project's general plan consistency, the site has dual land use designation, which the first one being commercial community services, which allows a full range of services and facilities such as offices, medical offices, personal services, retail. And also the second land use element is mixed use, which allows for standalone industrial, residential, commercial, or even a combination of either of those. The office use that's being improved on the site is consistent with both designations. In regards to housing and recreation, the building permits for the facade and addition improvements to the site incurred affordable housing commercial development impact fees. These fees will contribute to the housing's trust funds to develop additional future affordable housing. Additionally, fees for parks were received during the permit process as well. And last, in regards to the circulation element, the circulation element encourages uses to be compatible with the existing and realistic future infrastructure. So San Fernando Road and Sonora Avenue are both identified as a major arterial and an urban collector, respectively. The purpose of a major arterial is to carry the heaviest volumes with the most continuous route throughout the city, and the urban collector is to collect traffic from local streets and distribute this traffic onto major and minor arterials, such as San Fernando Road. Both of these streets are designed to handle the capacity of the office campus. Overall, the project is consistent with the land use element and complements the mix of existing commercial surrounding uses of the subject site, and currently supported and can be supported by the vehicular capacity and the streets surrounding the property. Overall, staff recommends approval. This concludes staff brief presentation. The applicant, Weston or Matthew, are available also in the virtual audience, and I'm available, and the applicant's also available for questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you mentioned some of the benefits for getting this alley vacated for the project. Can you summarize that, the benefits that city is getting for vacating the alley again, please?
So I'm going to quickly go over the goal of the applicant. There's the alley. The alley, as you saw from the exhibits, it bisects the site. So by vacating it, the site will be able to absorb it, and it will be one long contiguous site, which will allow the applicant's desire to create a office campus. And to quickly go over in regards to the housing and recreational element, during the plan check fees, or during plan check, it did incur fees for the Affordable Housing Commercial Development Impact Trust Fund. So that goes towards additional future affordable housing. And also during the plan check or the permit fees, the parks fees were also received by the city for future projects as well, regarding to whether enhancements or improvements to existing parks, or potentially, if there are any locations available to create new park spaces. But those are the major benefits. The other ones in regards to land use element was just compatibility, that is, which the general plan land use element does allow for commercial community services and mixed use. A campus, an office campus, does comply with both of those land use elements. And last, I just wanted to specify about the circulation element, that San Fernando Road and Sonora, both being a major arterial and an urban collector, the project will, with this alley incorporated, will be able to handle the capacity of this land use.
Okay, I guess what I was getting at was that those fees that you mentioned, they come with the project anyways. Are they paying any extra fees? I don't think so. So going back to one of the comments that was made by other commissioner is that, by, getting the value, alley vacation, are they providing more green spaces? Are they providing some public, access, amenities for, benefit to the public? That was what I was asking.
Considering the alley is only about 20 feet on one leg and 25 the other, there aren't any opportunities for green or open spaces on those specific areas. It's going to be continually used as a parking lot or a drive aisle through the site. Now, I don't think they do have a landscape area. I don't think it's designed for to be available for the public to use as a public space, but perhaps I don't know if there are any added benefits beyond that, and I'm not too sure about any fees or purchasing. If there's any monies coming in, that would be up to Public Works as far as the land transfer, I'm not aware of this. As far as planning and review for Planning Commission, it's just to review the general plan consistency of the project and the alley vacation, how it fits in with the general plan. So.
Perhaps maybe I'll listen in when applicants have any comments on my question here.
I have a question, if that's okay, before we go to the applicant. Have the staff looked at the ADT on that alley? What the ADT currently is on those two alleys? Sorry, I got dropped off for a short period when you were doing your presentation, so I don't know if you've talked about it already.
I'm not aware of the ADT on the site. I do really wish our Public Works Department was able to attend, but I'm not aware of that.
Okay, you're not aware if there was actually, if we did a study to put the, to see what the ADT is, or that it wasn't conducted. I'm just curious to know if you even conducted a.
I'm not aware of that. This is the first part that goes. Planning Commission just reviews the general plan consistency of alley being vacated and being absorbed in the site. The next step, Public Works will take this alley vacation for final before City Council. So okay. I'm not sure about the ADT on the site.
Thank you. My actually concern was just for the other commissioners and staff, knowing how much of the traffic that alley is currently, or the traffic that alley is currently carrying, will be spilling into Sonora and San Fernando. So just trying to see what that would be, if it's a big number, if it's a small number. My other question is, do we know where the entrance for this site is going to be? Is it going to be on San Fernando Street or Sonora?
It's going to be, I believe, two. Once this alley is vacated, this will be used as an apron for one of the site access onto the site. I believe on the opposite end, on the southern portions, there's going to be another improved apron to the other buildings on the other side of the campus.
Okay, so meaning on where the current alley is that's going to be the entrance to the site? Am I understanding it correctly?
Let me pull up the site plan, and I could definitely show you there.
Thank you.
I'm not the best with painting with words. Pardon me. So the yellow portions here are of the alley in question, as you can see from the screen. It bisects the site. If anything, most of the traffic was it was coming through here. This used to be the Wonder Bread site. So over here used to have loading docks where trucks could be able to back into this. These were loading docks in between the two buildings over here. So they were able to come into the alley and exit onto San Fernando Road. And further along this way to the west, I guess this would be on here, would be towards San Fernando. And adjacent over here are, I believe it's the bank or some retail stores. So you can see a good portion of it does bisect the site. And by vacating it, it allows this to connect with the other parcels and make it a complete office campus. So this will become one of the aprons or the drive aisles. I believe there's another one. If you can see, let me turn on the laser pointer. I don't know where it went. if you can see my screen, can you see the mouse? So I know there's another one. There will be. Now it's lagging. I apologize. There is an apron over here to access the parking stalls. That would be west of the old Wonder Bread site. The proposed vacated alley will be an apron to access the parking stalls on the east side of, or the other side of the Wonder Bread site. And that will also give it access to parking to, you can see a larger parking area between the two buildings. The large one, and geez, I wish this would move a little bit quicker. It's going to provide parking where the red dot or my laser pointer is now. And then further south or into the more narrow portions there's going to be one more additional driveway apron, which will provide circulation onto the site and back onto San Fernando Road.
Thank you. This is very small, but so I can't read much. Is this the existing or proposed that we're looking at?
This is the proposed.
Okay.
This is the proposed site plan. Yes, that's correct.
Just a comment. I really hope that they don't put that exact south east corner entrance. That might be a bit conflicting, but that's not the place to, Planning Commission is not the place to talk about. My other question, and I think it's the answer, I know the answer, but I just wanted you to also confirm, this belongs to the city and there is no need for the city to be working with the Pacific Railroad, correct? This is exactly adjacent to the Southern Pacific Railroad, and I just want to make sure that this is completely in the city's, part of city, and it's not something that we need to be working with the Pacific Railroad or do some kind of an arrangement with them.
It's entirely within the city's property. They may ask for mitigations of, if there is construction. I know it was included with their permit of do not go on the other side of the fence onto the rail right away and so forth. But if anything, to answer your question, it's entirely on city property and it's not on the rail right away.
Thank you. I just wanted it to be on the record. I have some concerns about the design, but I don't think Planning Commission is the place to discuss it. Things like how services are going to be provided, trash and things. But I do see that I do see why they have applied for this, and it makes sense. I don't have any questions. Any other questions from staff?
I have one quick question. This is, I guess, just more for my knowledge. Will they be making any changes or improvements to the current buffer between the alley and the railroad? Or will that remain and it's strictly just changing hands and essentially repaving it and making it a newer alleyway?
From my understanding, it's just going to be, maintained as a drive aisle. It will provide circulation around the building. Perhaps our applicant can chime in on the southern portion of the between the rail right away and the building and the alley that's going to be vacated.
Unless we have any more comments from the other commissioners, I'm happy to open it for public comment so we could ask questions to the applicant.
I have one comment. Is this going to be going to our design review board?
The design review board approved this project about a year ago.
Thank you.
And one more question. I live around here. I drive by every morning. I used to smell the fresh bread. Are you going to do something so we can have that fresh bread smell in here?
We can definitely ask the applicant.
Okay.
Any further discussion, or do we have a motion? Or would we like to hear from the applicant?
I think it would be good to hear from the applicant just to address some of the things some of the commissioners brought up and just hear their perspective a little bit before we open for deliberation. And also if Commissioner Fuentes would like to chime in, by all means, go ahead.
Wes or Matthew, did you want to open up with a statement or anything?
Wes or Matthew?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Weston. I'm one of the applicants for our project team. Thank you, Dennis. I think Dennis's presentation summarized it. This is a 20-foot alley that makes an L shape around one of the 4 buildings that is currently under construction. This vacation allows a circulation throughout the project. The existing alley really goes nowhere. The previous bakery building has been out of service, so unfortunately we cannot supply the smell of fresh bread. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Hey, Weston, this is Commissioner Trogchian. Can you touch on what kind of improvements you guys are going to put into the alleyway and also regarding the buffer on the south of the site, just so that we can kind of get an understanding on what the plan is there aside from just the vacation and transfer from the city?
Dennis was correct. The drive aisle will be resurfaced as part of, but will be maintained as a drive aisle. The existing fencing separation, I believe, will have a landscape screen on it, like a vine growth, and otherwise that's it.
Thank you. Do any other commissioners have questions for the applicants?
I'd like to chime in. Yeah, I mean, that's great, but you are, as a city is vacating the alleyway, that serves as a now your private access driveway to your parking spaces. So there's a benefit that you're gaining from this. And if the city ordinance is such that that we are allowed to do this, and the staff is not asking for it, I'm just asking for voluntarily that. For the benefit that you are getting from this alley, vacation, that you provide something some sort of benefit for the public.
I understand. I'm not certain how to respond. The existing alley is 20 feet long, and it dead ends, and we are intending to improve what was an abandoned sequence of buildings into a office campus in order to attract new employees, new business, and new jobs to this area. We are making an improvement to the streetscape of San Fernando Road, which is something that the staff and planning has recommended. And as just a final thought, I believe that our request at this commission is to determine if it's in compliance with planning, and that's it, really.
But thank you. I mean, I'm for the project. I just said I was looking for a little bit more, but I'm fine with your answer.
Do any of the other commissioners have additional questions? Then I believe we can move to a vote.
I'm sorry, I do. I'm very sorry about this.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Have you pulled permits for? I'm assuming you haven't pulled permits for this yet. You're waiting our approval and City Council to be able to do that.
No, we are in construction currently on the project. This is the item before you is solely about the alley vacation.
Thank you.
I'm willing to move if we have no more comments, if someone would like to second.
Mr. Chair, since you are chairing this commission meeting, I think it's better for one of us to make the motion rather than you make the motion.
Sure, by all means.
That's correct.
Yeah.
A motion. I just want to say something. So according to our general plan. I wish the design was a bit different, but again, that's out of the planning commission scope. But taking or thinking about the general plan and how this affects the general plan, I think this project this works for the project. So I'm actually moving on what we have on the motion.
Well, I second the motion with a little reservation. I was hoping to get a little, voluntary better answer, but as you said, on the general principle, I have no issue, so I'll second the motion.
Okay, roll call. Commissioner Fuentes?
Aye.
Commissioner Lee?
Aye.
Commissioner Manassian?
I love the project. Aye.
Commissioner Shabazian?
Yes.
Chairperson Trachin?
Yes. I believe that brings us to the next item on our agenda, Community Development Department updates. Do we have any at this point in time?
At this point in time, there are no updates from the Community Development Department.
Then I believe we are good to adjourn the meeting unless...
Chairperson, I apologize. I just wanted to remind you that Commissioner Fuentes wanted us to close with the dedication she had. Sorry.
Correct. I was going to give her opportunity to speak. No worries, though. Commissioner Fuentes, go ahead. You can close the meeting for us.
Okay. Well, like I said earlier, Filipino American community of Los Angeles lost a very great leader and a strong pillar in our community. Ruby Baxter Rivera. She is well loved, well known in LA, Glendale, Burbank, Pasadena. And all she wanted is to make sure that all the Asian communities and other communities in Greater Los Angeles are given all the opportunities to be heard and to be recognized within the community. So I am respectfully requesting that we adjourn or end our meeting tonight for loving memory again for Ruby Baxter Rivera. Thank you. And if we need to have a motion, then I can move that we adjourn in that if we need.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Fuentes. I'll move in honor of this wonderful person.
And I'll second that if we do need a second.
Thank you.
On that note, I think we are adjourned.